Alright. So, let's just start going. There we go. Alright, everyone, this is Will from Productions², and we are back to do some more work on our advanced weapon plugin that I've been working on. So, this morning I did some streaming where we set up, we got the basic information set up here, and kind of got in the formatting and whatnot to do this part down here on the bottom for the more detailed weapon stat screen. So what we were talking about earlier was the fact that this has to go up. This is not enough room down here for all the parameters we have. So what I'm thinking about doing is we're going to take level and EXP and put them up here, and then put refinement and durability on the same line down here. So it'll kind of be one section of information here, and then we'll move this up, and we'll have all of this screen space for everything else, which will be more than enough for the parameters and for the traits. So, what we will need to do is, so first let's take a look over here, because we got to kind of reorganize how this is going. The main problem here is the description. Maybe we could load, well, no, because that's being used with this. So maybe we move the description down a bit so that's underneath these, and then maybe that will mean that the description will end up being well, we'll see, because let's before we do that, let's try modifying these first, because we want to change the size of the parameters, this parameters label, and also we want to move these all the way to the right and make this go across the entire window instead of just part of it, because we want to try and do a 3 per line here. It's still not going to be enough. That's right, we said it still wasn't going to be enough, because we have like 28 parameters or something like that to handle. If we go 3 a line, it's like, I think I said with like 7 lines or something, so 21. Still missing quite a few. So maybe if we put all this onto one line, because there's a lot of space here we can use. I'm even thinking about maybe moving the description over to here and making like a box over here for the description, where it'll just like wrap somehow, and then have move this up to here and put it on 2 lines, the level XP, refinement, and durability. For now, let's just move this over here and make it a 2-line thing. The problem there, though, is crap. Experience. So this can be like a huge number. This is kind of annoying. So how can we organize this? So, well, let's go ahead and do a few things first. I want to move this up closer to the top and closer to the right. Sorry, left. So that would be on the, well, here's the icon, so XY. X is 5. Let's leave that as 5, but let's make the Y 5 as well. So it'll be like up here. The corner will be up here. That'll shift all this up a bit. What I'd like to do is actually go 5 minus 1, because the icon's kind of sticking down on top of the description there, so let's give it a little extra space for the description. That'll move everything up automatically. There's a space here because this is a second line for the description. Once I figure out how to actually do a new line on the description, that'll actually be drawn. I mean, to be honest, the /n should have worked, but it wasn't there. It didn't actually create a new line, which is interesting. Let me see. Let's do a search for RPG Maker MV draw text new line. How to make drawing automatically. Let's see. These earways. Let's first identify breakpoints for new lines. Use a text out with function. Let's see. N doesn't work. Function with the string is bigger. Choosing with it depending on how you want it done. Quest journal. Draw text auto wrap. Actually, it does work. Oh, right. I remember this. I forget what I was using it for, but I remember this. String from char code 13. Draw text DX. Oh, this thing allows you to use escape codes. Okay, so let's try EX then. But yeah, I'd completely forgotten about that. I forget, I used it somewhere, I can't remember where though. Draw text, just on the description, so. X. Let's go ahead and actually just load that up and see what happens. Hopefully it works. If it works, I'm hoping it works, because that would be awesome. I don't have to worry about that so much. Grab that, go over here. No, it doesn't. Didn't work. Let's see. Maybe because let's try it without actually replacing. That might work. I think it said that, let's see, and does work, scripts for use allows you to use escape codes. So I think you may have to escape it. Maybe we'll see what happens here. No, it doesn't work. So. Draw text EX. Are there any other parameters, or so it's text X? Oh, okay, text XY. That's why. There's no width or a line. So it's probably, and that's the only definition for it? Yeah, definitely. So text X and Y. Let's take that out. See what happens. It's actually kind of surprising that it still goes. I guess it just treats the other parameters as extraneous and doesn't do anything with them, but I mean, to me, in a properly formatted language, anything that you have with any function you call an extra parameter should cause an error, because there shouldn't actually be a function defined that matches that argument set, because it doesn't take that many arguments. It only takes You know, three arguments, not 5. But whatever. That is JavaScript. Okay, here we go. There we go. So, no, never mind. I was like, yes, maybe it worked, but no. So still not working. Let's do a test. So that'll happen no matter what now, because we're just overriding the, putting it for everything. Grab some stuff, come over here. Oh wow, okay. Yeah. So, what is going on? Oh, well, yeah, it's expanded. Oh. It's like, what is going on here? Wow, what the hell? Plus 43. Oh, it's katana, that's why. Sword is the 15. Awesome, 43.57. We have 3/4 of a damage point. Or, I guess, of an attack point. So it does work. I just had to go to the right screen. Oh, okay, that's probably a good idea then. We need to put it on basic info too. Draw text DX. Now, the problem I have here is you see how it does the new line, it actually puts it down quite a long distance. So... what to do with that? Because, well, let's see. Oh, well, where's the EX at? Let's go find EX. It was over here in Windows, wasn't it? Yeah. So, height, calc text height. That's interesting. Height. You think it would just use line height to set another line, but that's not working. Oh wow, they're using regex. Nice. Probably to find any that's interesting. X1B, make font bigger. Oh, X1B bracket actually. Convert escape characters. Damn, where was that? I've lost. Draw text DX. Okay, I can't find it. Let's go find it through the definition again. Okay, so text state equals looks like an array of it's an object. So index 0 x x y y left x. Text text state dot text convert escape characters and text state dot height equals calc text height. This dot reset font settings while text state dot index is less than text state dot text dot length process characters. Interesting. So let's see how this works actually with actual description text. And actually, we might have to use that. So it has to be a non-escaped one, I think. So. Let's see what that looks like with the actual katana description text. Well, that's interesting. It puts it way the hell down there. Even more so. Why? What is with all that space? That is so just strange. What if we just throw this in here? I didn't check to see what that did. One would think that since it's escaped, it's just going to print out the /n, but we shall see. Oh no, it worked that way too, but they still got that huge space. Now it's a little less large. There's still that extra space there. Yeah, that was what somehow when we do the replace, it causes it to maybe put more than one in. Maybe. Okay, let's go and get rid of that. Don't need it. Same thing with this. Don't need it. And then we need to start doing the line height stuff. This is also on Y. Times 4. Our durability should be 5. That's 5. So let's set up that way. Okay, let's load this back up. Yeah, see, it like goes way over into there. Now on the interior one here, it still goes over to there. So I think what we'll do is we'll move this down a little bit more. Maybe add a little bit more to the Y independently on both of them, and then maybe what we'll do is we'll drop the expander level, then put refinement over here, and then durability down here. Over on this side. So, and there'll still be like some space here, but we'll be using more of this area, text area. And we'll be able to bring this up a bit. With this, how it is here, we're not going to be able to put anything over here like I was planning to. Or maybe what we do is level the refinement durability and then put the experience on the very end. How much space would be left for that though? So this we need at least that much space for the level, because we can get up to 999 on the level. We're gonna say 3 digits. Refinement. No, I don't think that'll all fit in one line. So Yeah, I think the next best thing we can do is, well, maybe we can put the level up here. And then put refinement, durability, and XP down here. Maybe that's what we'll do, because we got some space up here we can use. Maybe even level an XP up here, because we got the level's not going to take that much space. We might even abbreviate it to take up some less space. So let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. So level. So this is going to go before the description. Actually, both these are. So line height is just going to be Y. Now the issue here again is the item name length. So what we're going to do is we need to account for that. So that way whenever a smaller name, the stuff will shift over. And when it's a larger name, it'll shift over again. So it's always the same distance from the name. And we'll be able to take advantage more of that space up there. So yeah, the weapon name. 400. So X is 65. So we probably want to start this on, as far as the X goes, start it on rather text width. So does that is there a text width? Now, how does this text width work? This auto wrap. This dot contents dot width. This dot text with word plus a space. Okay, so this dot. So so text width is an actual function that exists. Let's check over here. Yes, it is. Okay. So what we can do is, it's back over here. I'm just wondering what this would look like if he used the text width on this. This is on the expanded info. Alright. So I'll have a good before and after look at this. It'll still look a bit weird because we got these things stuck over there, but yeah. We got ourselves a problem. Unexpected token, comma. Unexpected comma. Comma. Where's the comma that's unexpected? Oh, there it is. Forgot to put in the X value. I'm just gonna set 100 for right now. And then we'll figure out what that's going to be later. I just want to see what this text width does to the text width, per se. So, sword. So, it pretty much makes it a little bit, pretty much where it needs to be. Sword, katana. Yeah, text width not defined. Oh, really? Because it should be this dot text width. Oh, right, nah. That wasn't, again, keep forgetting we split those off now. It's two different functions. One draws the basic and one draws the expanded. And we're changing the expanded right now. Okay, that's interesting. So, yeah, it still seems pretty good. What we can do, though, is we can move this over a little bit more back towards the icon. That's a little bit far. Let's make this 35. So we have this text width here, which seems to work for the text width. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to say 35 plus text width plus 10. And we're going to do the same thing here. I can see how this could go really wrong really fast. Because now what we have to do is we have to include the weapon level text width. So what I think we need to do is we need to make another var, var x. We're going to start off on 5 as well. And then what we'll do is we'll do this kind of in a getaway. So 5 plus equals 20, 30. So I guess to 35. And again, just x. Then x plus equals so that's a 35 plus that. So then x plus equals 10 plus granted, it's not with the label, so we'll have to do some fixing here and there, but for the most part, this should work. And it's per line, so after that we set x to 0, or x to back to 5. Or 20, rather, for this one. And then I think we just leave it that way for the rest of these, mostly. So on that, x, so refine and durability, we can then move to the same line, I guess. So then this one would be x plus equals again, then we have this extra bit here. So we'll see how this works. And do tweaking if we need to. So, yeah, maybe, not really. So text width doesn't really work that well. Oh, right, because these are 1 character long. These values are 1 character long. Damn. So what we have to do is we have to build the actual labels into the text. So, okay, I guess we can do that. That's fine. So var w w name. Well, w level. We'll start with the ones that actually have labels. These other ones don't have labels. So var Okay. So, this will be W level. And let's see, this is a little bit too close now. We didn't move it that close, did we? Weapon name X. Okay, X minus 1. X plus equals 30. So it should be adding quite a bit to that. But didn't really show up there. Oh, because it doesn't include the width of the icon, which is what is this? Is that 48? I think it's 48. So that's probably going to be a little bit too much. Let's do 10. Let's see what that looks like. Menu design. It's a pain in the arse. It's not too much better, really. Well, we only did the one with the one thing, so that's probably why. And we didn't change that. This is back to being way too far. So if we say 48, what if we just go 48? Where does that put it at? I'm more interested in the icon spacing at the moment, because that'll kind of inform the rest of it, really, for that line. So it's a bit closer, so I should go 48 minus 8. Actually, we'll just say 40 then. Might as well, just since we're doing an actual number, a literal number instead of a size on the icon. That's much better. I like that spacing much better. Okay, now that we got that, wep name. This should be W level. Oh, so yeah, now see, this actually does work very well, because here's the space here for the level. The problem is the EXP and the level are on top of each other. So there's that. Writing 10 to it. So that should actually look very good right now. We go back in here. No, because it's W level LVL. Okay. Grab some weapons. And let's have a look. There we go. So, better? It is better, but it's not perfect. I think we need to add 30 here, or maybe even 50. So we need to give enough room for 3 digits on the level. So let me just do that. Let's just say the level's 999. And the EXP is 99999. We'll say something like that. Looks reasonable. We'll start with 40 and see how that works. So WXP. Okay, so the XP overflows, but we do have more. There's quite a bit of room there that we can pull back on. So 40 is a little bit too much. How about 28. Again, then the other question is experience. Do we want to have a maximum amount of experience? The problem with setting a maximum amount of weapon experience is that at what point can you... So maybe what it'll be is we'll have a... maybe we'll have another... so you won't necessarily be buying levels, you'll be applying experience to the weapon. That'll cost money, sort of like in the XP script I showed you a while back. You apply experience to it, and then that will cause it to level up once it reaches the experience that you need to level it up at. So maybe something like that, which would require a new thing to make it work. But so it's closer. We're still exceeding over here. How many characters? So we got what, 7 here, and we can see 6. So we're off by just 1 character. But that's like the space here is 1 character. So it'll work with 5 or with 6. So no more than, so you can have under 1 million experience, which is kind of insane, but I suppose it'd be possible to get that much experience over the course of a game. So, okay, now we can see it. And that's like assuming that the level is that. If we drop the level down to 9, it's going to be different because the this should, you know, alter itself to match it. Because we're basing it on the text width now as far as where the X is at. So it should be somewhat dynamic that way because of that. Yeah, see, now it's over further because there's only 1 digit there. So that's going to work for that. Let's go ahead and take this out. Put this back in. Now for the durability and refinement. So WREF. Let's actually make it 25 instead of 28. Then the actual, yeah, that should be fine for the X on that. So let's have a look. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now let's see, what about the spacing? So the so this is times 4. So let's make this times 3. And then make this times 5. The other thing we want to do is make this the entire length. So we're not going to go width divided by 2 on this anymore. Well, that's the vertical line. We want to keep that. The horizontal line we need to change to 0. So we want to start it on 0. And then y is this line height times 5. I think that should work. Yeah, pretty much the entire length of it now. That's good. It's still a little bit off. Like I said, we'll need to add some, I think, to the durability and refinement, just to get them off the description. Maybe down a little bit. Maybe say 10. We'll start with that and see what happens. And then we'll also have to subtract some from the lines to get it up to where we want it. So we're going to try and maximize as much as possible the space we have to use for this. I mean, it works, but at the same time, I'd like to be a little bit more spaced out, just a tiny bit. So maybe we go with 20. It's not the full 30, but it's in between, kind of. And on this now, let's go ahead and do this minus. So what do I want to say? Minus. Let's go minus 22 on this. That might be a bit too much. That's actually right on smack dab bam, right where we kind of want it right there. This actually can go up a little bit too, just a little bit. So maybe we make this 16. Now, as for the parameters, that's pretty much where we want it. We need to move it up, though. And these could probably become 6, actually. And for the X, we'll start with that and then work on doing the font length, text width again on those. So better. The refinement's a little bit more off the line. Looks a little bit more like the spacing up here. That looks good. I like how that looks. Now we just need to figure this stuff out. So we need to just pull this over even more. Started this on 10. Let's actually start it on 2. I just want to pull it over as far as possible. And then let's see. Well, actually, we'll do this x equals 2. And then make this x. Oh, and then, yeah, we'll need to do... I mean, you know, shouldn't knock it. There might be cases where a weapon would increase your defense. Unlikely, but it's possible. So we have to support it. And then we need one more. So what's the next? It's probably attack, depth, and magic attack. So we'll do a magic attack as well. Okay. Then on this we'll use WATK. Then x plus equals 10 plus this dot text width WATK. Alright, let's see what that looks like. It's probably not going to look too good. Yeah, didn't think so. It's stuck on pretty much right on top of each other. Then M attack is undefined. Nice. What is it called? Oh, mat. M-A-T. That's why. Oh, we didn't add any buffer on this. That's why that looks kind of weird. So let me see. Is there a way we can like truncate this? So JavaScript truncate. Just want to rip it off. Oh, so you use a floor. Okay, maybe we could try that. Let's see if it even supports it. So that would be up here. Well, it doesn't immediately throw out an error. Ah, cool, it worked. Nice. Now the problem is that it's still really jammed in together, so when attack gets... So maybe what we do is we just take off the space. No, not add another, take it off. So they're kind of jammed together, but we'll have a little bit more space that way. So for example, let's just say let's just say we have this array of stats for whatever reason. best way to test something is to actually just do a static representation of what you think you might have to, of a good use case. So it's not too bad. In fact, that works pretty well, to be honest. I like that. And then we'd have those all the way down. It's turtles all the way down. So what we need to do is hey boy, okay. So we have all these parameters. Okay, some of these I don't really care about. So these we care about. Critical rate, critical evasion rate, magic evasion, reflection rate we don't really care about. So let's actually define which stats we really care about showing. And then we can add others in later on and have that be a parameter to show expanded stats on this stat window. But these will be like the base ones we want to show. So those counterattack and regeneration rates. Physical and magical damage rates. And that's I guess that's something different from the the defense, physical and magic defense values or something. So we'll go with these. What are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Damn, I need 2 more. Either I need to take off 2. You know, let's take off these 2. So here will be our base stats that we'll use. We've already done these 3. So let's go ahead and get the other one set up here. Again, we're going to use some fictional static stat points on these for the moment. I'm going to start set sign Okay, there's got to be a much easier way to do this than that. And we'll just modify whatever we need. So luck. Much easier. Hit and evasion. EVA. critical. Counter. Health regeneration. So TP regen and MP regen. So okay. So there are stats that we're going to track on here to start with. So now we need to use all these down here. So really we could just follow the same pattern for all of them, for all the rows. So there's one group. There's the next group. The next. I think there'll be 4 groups, because there's 12 of them. And then we just change these as we need to. So mats, so this will be MDEF, AGI, luck. Oh, AGI luck. And then hit evasion critical. And then the regenerations, HRG, MRG, TRG. Alright, now let's see what that looks like. So this will give us an approximate look at what the final stat kind of portion of this will look like. No, it's not defined. CRI. Oh, CIR. My mistake. Typo. $5 for every typo I've ever made. I'd be a gazillionaire. Oh wow, nice. We didn't change the Y. Awesome, they're all on the same line. So 6, 7, 7, 7. It's like, I think I'm forgetting something. And that's what I forgot. Okay. Well, they're all printing out anyway, so that's good. They're still on top of each other, so you can't tell what the hell is what. Alright, let's have a look at it now. Should be a little bit better. Oh wow, there's so much space there. Well, of course there's only like half. That's only half the stats, isn't it? Yeah, so that's 12 stats out of 28. That's actually more than half. Still not there. So what's? Let me. Just wondering. How much would this really add to it? Because we need something a little bit more to kind of separate things out. It's a little bit too crushed together in some places. And we have quite a bit of space, but it's just, you know, we're adding like 1, 2, 3, 12 characters to each line now. So where does that stick it at? Leave the lines at. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, if we took the spaces out, we still have the dividers in there. We're only adding only adding 3 characters per line. Of course, the problem is the amount of the stat. So that could be 3 or 4 characters long. So it's better. So I wonder if we should move this over a bit. Let's go ahead and put something over here. Because what'll be over here will be traits. So what we'll have is the trait icon, the trait name, and then the percentage chance of it being cast. So at most you're going to have 3 characters on the percentage. Well, 4 because of the percent sign. The name is a thing. I think this is too much room for the traits. Too much width. I think we can shrink this down this way a bit and open up some more room here to do maybe another. Maybe move forward to a line instead of just 3, and give a little bit more room to each of these. So what I want to do now is I want to get the traits, which we do have. Specifically, I want to get the states. So 13. So what state do we have on Katana that we can test with? So bleeding, we gave it a bleeding state. So we look for any states. In this case, we're looking for the code will be 13. So what we need to do is to create a list. So for var I1 equals 0. I1 is less than this dot wep dot underscore traits dot length So if basically we just want to take the trait record and move it over. So, in doing this, we should get just one. So we only have one stat trait. State trait, I should say. Now, so this should not, well, this will be one section, this will be a different section. So params, and then we'll do traits. Alright, so for traits, what we're going to do is we're going to do a list, we're going to do a loop through the traits thing that we just have. So for var t, var trait in traits. So we're going to do a draw text. Well, we have to do a draw icon actually. So let's see. First of all, we got to set our parameters, our placement parameter. First, let's actually even go back even further. Let's go to our vertical line. So this is contents width divided by 2. So that's getting half of the screen. Let's make this by 1.25. And let's see where that puts that at. Oh, okay, that's way too much. Way too much. 1.45. Alright, so let's go 6.5. So that's 0.4 less than what we had it at. Yeah, that looks more like what we need. Well, we'll see what we need. We'll leave it there and then adjust it as we need to or can. So, first we need to do the icon. Well, let me see. How do we get? So we got the states. Data states, I think, is probably what it's called. Yeah. So data states, we get the we have the ID from the trait thing. So we use that on data states dot get icon ID. So let's see, x. So first of all, x needs to equal this dot contents width divided by 1.65, then plus 10. And then as for the and also first of all, let's contents width divided by 1.65 plus 25. That's probably going to error out. Okay, so never mind. We'll deal with that in a bit. So line height 5, so this will be line height 6. So this dot draw icon data state trait dot data ID x so y So, yeah, X and Y and then the icon ID. So let's see what that looks like. And we still have an error somehow. Missing argument after list. Or missing after argument list. On line 561. Oh, we have an extra one of these. And this data states. Not state. Okay. And then I think it's probably going to be dot icon ID. I didn't think about that till just now. Actually, I have to plug in here. Just anywhere, just put it anywhere we can get it. It's a global, so it gets filled out when we. All right, so watch plus. So what is, so icon index, that's what it is. Icon index. Okay. Icon index is undefined. Oh, of undefined. So data states data trait ID. So trait.data ID. Okay, I guess we need to check to see if we're actually getting anything in the traits loop. We should be, because there is one for Katana. Traits dot underscore code. I'm betting that was the problem. Well, I'm betting that was part of the problem. Let's put that. Not that it was, but I guess if declaring things are fixed or not. Okay, so get rid of that and go to so undefined. Okay, let's do a check there. Traits is actually pretty well placed though, which is good. I like when that happens. When you get something placed just right the first time. No mess, no fuss. Okay, so first of all, we need to see what we're getting for this dot underscore wep dot underscore traits. We have an array of 4. That's good. And the code is 13, which is that. Oh no, it is not underscore code. It is regular code. All right, so then this dot underscore wep dot underscore traits I1 dot code. So 31 13. But then it doesn't do anything with, oh, because it isn't 0. It's whatever I is. In this case, I is, what, 4? 2. Well, that's interesting. I actually didn't go in there anyway. Isn't it storing as an int? We shall see. Yeah, no. Huh. Well, yeah, obviously. Okay, no, that's true. So then, oh, because the code is broken. Yeah. Yep. So let's do this. Let's also make where I2 equals 0. I think we can do both of them. So then we'll use I2 for this one. And then just I2++. So that we have it 0 indexed still. I'm not sure if that'll work though, but it might. Other weird stuff Java does, I'm surprised it wouldn't support doing 2 definitions of variables. Well, it didn't throw an error, so hopefully. It didn't even go there this time. Yeah, so that's so how do we define multiple variables in a for loop for JavaScript? Yeah, but that's stupid. Exactly. Why doesn't it? No, I don't use while. Yeah, no. Not quite what I was looking for. It's not what I want. And this should be so. But let's keep going to the weird. Keeps on going back to this stupid one. Okay, let's do that instead. Variable designation loop. No, I'm not going to create an array for this. It's a BS answer. And it's gotta be possible. It's like possible in every freaking language known to man. Well, maybe except COBOL. Oh yeah, you should be able to just go A and then B. But then it just like totally, when I did that, it didn't even go in here, which is... Oh, do we have to say equals 0? I thought when I did that, I didn't like it. Oh, wrong one. Keep wanting to change it in the bloody editor there. Okay. Ah, crap. Still wasn't found. Probably because it wasn't defined right. Alright, new game. Okay. Now we're talking. Trade 0. Okay, perfect. There we go. Data ID 11. No, what is wrong with you? So for var trait in traits, data states trait.data ID. What is your problem? It's like, jeez. Pulling each trait out of there, it should be perfectly fine. Watch it be undefined or some bullcrap. Wait, trait is 0? Because it's a key value pair. Okay. Which means we need... Damn it. How do we... I don't want to do an object keys loop because that would be such a frigging nightmare to do with the whole this getting unloaded in that. JavaScript for loop for key value. Var k and target. Oh, okay. We can do it that way then. So true. Okay, yeah. So so what we'll do is instead of trait, we'll say TID, trait ID. You don't need to check if it contains it because it contains it. If it's pulling it out, it contains it. So then we say traits. It's kind of crazy looking, but it should work. Again, that's the shoulds and maybes. I think it will work. Let's put it that way. It should work. It doesn't. Oh, this one should work. It doesn't. That one should work. It doesn't. Oh, okay. We only needed to change a small thing to make it work. It works. Then I have to undo everything and then fix things that I fixed that I undid because we had to undo everything I incorrectly fixed. So instead, I'm just going to say should instead of will or might. Okay, so we get that now. Crap, typo. But let's a step closer. We're pulling in the whole thing now instead of just the one thing, which is good. So it's the key, pulling in everything now. Yes, we have icon. We have icon. All right. So now we need to do this dot draw text, and you can kind of see where we're going to go with this again. Stats, states, traits, TID dot name. I think. I'm adding it in here again. I just realized. Let's So where is the state name? Name is knockout. Oh, I was thinking about 11. Yeah, there's name. So it's just dot name. Dot name. Then so x plus equals what do we do with this one? It's going to be pretty much the same as we did with this one. So we just said 40. Let's see how that works. So x, and then the same y. It's on the same line, and then so what we should do is this: 6 plus I1, and we'll actually do it this way. Var I1 equals 0. Or we could even just go plus plus. Just so we can increment the line that it's on every iteration. So draw text. X plus equals let's fancy this up a little bit so it's not so insane looking. Now this is stored as a chance by damage. So it's stored as okay, so it's stored as an actual percentage. So we just need to use that and then use a percentage sign. So var tr chance equals I still realize I'm in the editor, in the console changing this stuff. I'll just copy paste it over. Then this dot draw text tr chance x again, anything to just kind of try and reduce this a bit. Okay, let's see what that looks like now. Alright, making progress. Oh. Oh my god. Oh god. All of my lovely code is gone as I forgot that it was in there, not over here. Dren. Dren it. Okay, that didn't make any sense. Frack it. That makes more sense. Alright, so, crap. Var 1 equals... Oh my god. Alright, this... then this... plus I1... And we need to do a var I1 plus equals 0. Var tr icon equals var tr name equals okay, there. It's back. Awesome code is back. No errors, that's good. Formatting is okay. New game. At least syntactically it is. Draw test, no, bloody hell. Why is the X so close to the S? And it's just the the keyboard layout was made by somebody that had a sick sense of humor, because there's a lot of swear words where you could typo them, you know, like if you're not paying attention. Like, for example, if you're typing duck and you don't hit D, you hit F. Or you're typing ship or shot and yeah. Well, maybe not ship, but shot for sure. Alright, so new, and there, and here, and, well, we got this still. The name isn't showing up. So, TR icon. Oh. Oh, what the... Okay. I don't think that was the problem, but, we'll check anyway. What the hell? Draw test is... Oh, God. Of course. I still have to fix the basic information window. That's still kind of messed up. Well, now we got something different. Now we have a number. Oh, hell, that's supposed to be icon. That, yeah, that's why. But the rest of the stuff isn't showing now, still. It's interesting. Okay, so let's throw some breakpoints in and see what we get. Oh, there you go. That's the that icon is icon 27. Now you know. So TR name bleeding chance undefined. Chance by change by damage. Still, this should be frickin' putting it out. So X is 370. Holy crap, we're not resetting X. Oh, wow. So wait, this is the... So that's the formula we're using to do where the line is at on the vertical line. So that's where the vertical line should start. So no, that's fine. Let's read chance by damage. The name, so these are coming through fine, it's just that the draw text isn't drawing them in the right spot or something. Let's see what this does. Maybe this is getting shoved over. Off the contents window. Nope, still not there. This dot draw text tr name xy1 text width. That's what we're missing, text width. I'm willing to bet that was it. Ugh. Keep editing it over here. It's like, it's, I don't know. It's too bad this doesn't reflect over. That'd be awesome. Okay, there we go. Now they're showing up. So yeah, cool. Blind. That works 100%. So yeah, we need to put this back to 40. I think that will work just fine. Oh, bleeding's kind of crushed, isn't it? Let's use our new awesome way of doing this text width by just using this and see what it comes out with. While we're at it, let's also then close this and add a few more states to this just to see what it looks like in terms of having a couple more in there. Let's do poison at 12%. Rage at 65%. And silence at 40%. So we'll just see what these look like overall and see how the loop works. I'm interested in seeing if that works properly or not. Cool, it does. Now we want to put a little bit extra space though. Oh, that's interesting. It says 100 instead of 44. And this is 100 instead of 44. What did we apply those to? No, it's on the katana. That's interesting. Should be 40, 65. We're getting 50. That's weird. Well, this is a times though. Maybe that doesn't matter. Changes the probability at which the use of a skill or item will succeed in applying a state. Well, we definitely have the states there, but the values are not right. So why is that? Well, let's throw out a debug statement. Let's check up here and see if we'll put it at the end here and see if the traits are getting in here correctly from the loop, or if it's incorrect from the loop, or if it's because they're incorrect in the actual data states themselves. Oh wait, weapon trait. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, weapon traits. Or wait, traits. Oh. Yeah, I think we had a little bit of a brain fartish thing here. We don't want to be pulling the chance by damage from data states. We want to be pulling the value. So we want to go to trait ID, traits.id. Instead of ID, we want value. Now it's going to be a 0 point whatever value. It's one of those deals. We need to convert it to a so I think we divide by 100 to convert it to a percentage. Well, we'll find out. Man, awesome. Okay, what's the actual value for it then? Let's put a break in. Maybe it's not that value. I thought it was value. It might be capital, might not be capital. Let's see. Go to here. I'm gonna go to traits. Huh, that's interesting. We have the one trait. Let's check the code. Maybe we're not loading all the traits in that we can be. Because it still says just the one trait. For each trait and traits ID, where's the traits thing at? It's not instance. So put one here, all on. Okay, so objects. So we need to put one here, and one here. So this is ID 1, basic iron sword, continue. We've had E5. So let's add, so wep.traits. So we have 7 traits. Then what's in now? This underscore traits. 7. Okay, no, it's not 7. 7 and 7. 0.12654 35. So that's correct. So yeah, we'll need to check up here in the loop and see what it's actually doing. So wait, what's up with I2? $13 true. Oh, there. Oh, division by 0. That's what's happening. Derp. So it's going to be 1 or less than 1, so we can't divide that by 0. We have to do it the other way around, or that by 100. To divide it this way. And it might be multiplication, I'm not sure, we'll see. I could look it up, but that would be a little too easy. I'd rather try it a couple dozen times before I go online to look it up. It's still nan. I'm not sure why. Let's actually see if it's pulling any values at all. It should be. Oh wait, and that might be a lowercase v. Everything else is lowercase, so I think this would probably be lowercase. Alright, now let's see what happens. Still leaves a breakpoint there, though. Couldn't verify my suspicions on the... Yeah, lowercase, okay. Well, yeah, okay. That didn't quite work. I think it is multiplication. Make sure we have just the full percent, not anything else. Truncate it. Okay, let's see what we get with this. That's awesome. I never knew about that. With double tilde truncation code. Yes, there we go. Awesome. Alright, now we need to add a little bit more to the X on each one of these, so... or the Y, rather. So we'll add a little bit more. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a space in there. This is shaping up to be pretty good though. Some tweaking still to do on the top section of it. But I'm liking what I'm seeing for like the traits and the stats. Holy crap. Okay, that didn't work. Oh. Yeah, let's add it to the thing that's going to be actually, multiplied by the other thing instead of putting it on just this thing. That's how you get that. That's how you get the stuff at the very bottom, surprisingly. Although that was pretty effective at getting them at the bottom, so hey, a new way to do that. There we go. Well, it's the icons that are the problem, see? Like, right on top of each other. Because they extend down from this, so we need more. I think maybe 15. Just want to make sure actually I had it on the right spot, on the right thing. It's on Y, which is what it should be. No, yeah, it's not really doing it, is it still? The Y is not being applied. Draw icon X, Y. So, no wait, yeah, it is being moved down actually. I think it's being moved down, but these are not separating from each other. So wait, is this not working then? 6, so this times 6, then times 7. This should be pushing it down like, a whole bunch. Well, I mean, it's pushing it down, obviously, but not enough, I guess. Okay, let's go 75. Let's actually just try and do something crazy and see if we can get it to do something different, and then we can dial it back from there. A patented method of trying to figure stuff out. No, yeah, see, it's just moving this down. It's not moving these. That is strange. So this should be different every time. Let me throw a breakpoint there. Something not right with that. maybe I1 is not iterating or something. I mean, it has to be because, well, yeah, it has to be because it's doing stuff, but something's just not working right. There should be more of a space than that. So, let's go and just delete everything and add a new one for Y1. So Y1 is 85. 125. Or 215. So the way that the Y works is you have Y, which is a set value. You're adding to it line height times a number, which is giving you an additional amount. So we're saying, okay, start off with 6 plus I1, which is 0, so 6, then 7 for the next one, then 8 for the next one, then 9 for the next one. But it's not actually adding enough space. And in fact, when we try to add more space, it's actually keeping them bunched together and just the first one is coming down. Which, like I said, doesn't make any sense. So it should be spaced between each and every one of them. Because what we're doing here is no different than doing this. We're just calling it in a loop and iterating this by adding the I1 to it. So how this stuff is like set up is how this should show, but it's not. Um, Icon X, TR icon X, Y1. All on the same line. So let's say, let's try something here. If, so let's say var y1 equals 0. If I1 equals 0, then let's see what that does. Okay, so we got space on the first one, but not the second one. Because we are moving it down the same amount every time, when we should be increasing the amount we move it down. Okay, that makes sense. So this needs to be like a 15 times I1. Let's see what this does. There we go. Now we're talking. Again, we don't want that much. We want so much space. We don't want so much space, but we want a little bit of space. Just so they're not sitting on top of each other. There, that's perfect. Minimizing the space we're using, but also not having them be right stacked on top of each other. I'm liking how that looks. Now, let's talk about the parameters. So we got this over here. Actually, we could even make this go a bit over further. Actually, we could, couldn't we? So let's actually push it over a little bit more. Let's go to the horizontal or the vertical real quick. Where is it? Vertical line. Where are you? There you are. So divided by 6. Let's go 5, 8. So down here on the X, we need to do 5, 8 as well. The whole idea is to try and maximize what we can use. Again, it also depends on the text size. Let's go ahead and add, in that vein, let's go ahead and add one of every type of trait that we have in here, just to see the. So fascination is the largest one. Of course, we call that charm, and we'll actually also keep it 100. So we'll see the longest with the triple digit ability there, chance of hitting there. This sword will inflict the enemy with a mortal, because there can be only one. And then that enemy will proceed to cut your head off. Alright, save it and run it, and I'm not so sure about fascination. I think I might push the value over the edge of the contents window. Contents bounds. Yeah, I thought so. Oh wow, Mortal has no icon. Interesting. Either the icon is corrupted. So, there would be a size limitation on the traits. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what happens when we... So what I want to do is I want to modify the parameters a bit here. So we're not going to have this thing anymore. Let's get rid of that. This bar thing. What I want to do is I want to add a little extra padding around these. So where's our params here? So instead of 10, we're going to do 15. So we're adding 10 more to each line, 10 more characters. Character spaces, whatever. So I'm going to try and space them a little bit more, and then I want to try and put a fourth one on the line. So I think that could work for a fourth one too. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we need to do is to x equals plus oh. I should start with the first group. That will make things make more sense that way. Okay. One, two, three, four. So instead of 4 lines, we now have 3. Or wait. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, we didn't quite do this right. So I still looks kind of funky. We're still kind of off on that. Alright, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then x equals 2. Okay, now let's take a look at that. See how that looks. So if it looks good, then we'll try moving the trait window over a little bit and try and pull fascination out of the void hell that it's in. Oh great, look at this. We got kind of really messed up stuff here. Oh, because we didn't change the X. Or the Y. Yep, gotta change that too. It's very important. Okay, now it shouldn't be so racked up. Though it is kind of close to that, so maybe... maybe that, well, we'll see. We'll just have to see. Maybe there's a few things we can do to try and, yeah, so that's like right up against the edge. Now, I want to have still some room because, so let's see what we can do. Maybe we can move on this, we can move the icons closer to the text. So we have it set to plus 50. Let's change it to 40. So I don't want to move that over any more than it already is, the text. Not the text, the vertical line, because we need that space in case of, yeah, so we're getting a little bit closer, because we need this space in case we have more values here. What would be next? So let me see. Synthesize. Well, that goes all the well. That's just because it fills out that room. If we move this over a bit more, we can move this out a bit more, and that might be just enough. So that's the command, the action pane. Scene, create, action window. So right now the width is 175. Let's make it 145. And see how that affects everything. Basically, we're taking 30 pixels out. That might be a little bit too much. We'll have to see. Oh no, that works for that. Perfect. Awesome. And fascination gets in there. Cool. Okay. This is shaping up to be awesome, this window here. Let's go ahead and actually make that line a little bit clearer too, those lines. Actually, that's going to be on, where is it? There's a function we brought over that has an opacity setting in it. Where are you? Here. Opacity to, okay, up to 255, so let's say 180. Let's make it a little bit more pronounced. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean, if you're creating weapons that have 7 traits, if they have, well, more than 8, because this will be able to support 8 traits, then there's just no helping you. I mean, I'm giving you 28 parameters to see over here, so it's not like I'm not giving you anything. Speaking of those other parameters, let's go ahead and add them in. So, first we'll create a if b show extended params is true. So we'll go ahead and set up that boolean there for that. So now we need to figure out which ones we didn't bring over and create them for those and figure out what the ordering should be. Where the hell are they? Oh, here we go. So I'm not including HP and MP in the main ones, and I think TP's in there too, because those I'm not considering one stats that we would normally have being set. So let's go ahead and move these over a line or two. So we'll say we'll call these and these will be extended params. So hit, evasion, critical, counter, and those. So these are the ones we haven't done yet. Oh, and TGR. Oh, that's target. That is target rate. Wait, TGR. Oh, TGR, not TRG. Gotcha. Okay, so MHP. I wonder if the guard increases the power of guarding, so you take less damage with that or something. FDR and EXR experience. Okay, we don't need those. All right, and then we'll start changing these. So MHP. And then EXR. Okay. So there are our other ones here. Extended parameters. Okay, so CEV and MEV. And those are all going to be on 9. And then TRG, GRD, and REC and PHA. So target, guard, rec. I have no clue what that one is for again. And then pharmacology or whatever. So TGR, GRD. One extra one there we don't actually need. Oh, frack. Wrong one. Okay, down here. Need to go down here instead. TGR. GDR. So TGR, right? Yeah, GRD. And then these are 10. Okay, and then the next group is interesting. 1, 2. So wait, there's 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 13 there. That can't be right. It's got to be 14. Because we got them on, or 12, because we got them on each line there. No, it is 12. I'm not sure why it gets 13. 26 to 38 is 12. And then, so it should be 20, oh, 26. I thought there was 28. So we have 8, and then we have 0 to 9, which is 10, and then 0 to 9, which is 10. That's 28. So, what are we missing? What about MRG and... No, that's in there. Or isn't? HRD, MRG, TRG. MAT, MDEF. MMHP. Let's pull these all in again and we'll check this again because we're missing 2, I think. Looks like. So, okay. So attack through luck. M attack, so attack, def, M attack, M def, AGI, and luck. Then hit, evasion, and critical. Counter. And then HRG, MRG, and TRG. So we're left with, okay, 16, yeah. So MHP, MMP, CEV, MEV, TRG, or MRF. There's the first one we're missing. TRG, MCR. TRC, PDR, TREX. Still one more we're missing out of this. So now it's 7. That's 14. Or maybe it's 15. So we have attack, defense, magic attack, magic defense, AGI, luck, hit, evasion, critical. Oh, we didn't include counter. That's what happened. We put it up here, but we didn't put it down there. Just as well. So counter should go down here too. Alright, so and the first group is fine. The second group, we have to add counter and MFR. First group is fine. Second group, this gets shoved down to the next group. And that's the last group. Okay, so last one is HRG. No, it's not. So MREC, PHA, CRI. So PHA, MCR, TCR. And then PDR, MDR, FDR, and EXR. So PMFDR and then EXR, PMF. And then these are on 11. Or no, 12. These are 11. And these are 12. So let's see if we get them all in the same one here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. Let's see what all that looks like in the stat pane, or in the window here. Yay, we got some issue somewhere in here. Oh, we didn't take these out. That's why. Oh, God. Okay. There's always that one extra thing that you forget to do. Always that one little thing. GDR is not defined. It's supposed to be GRD. It's supposed to be GRD. Okay, well, let's go fix that then. GRD. What other errors are we going to find here? Boom, there we go. All of the parameters. And in fact, we have a little bit of room down there for even more if we wanted to. Nice. We might be able to, well, yeah. If we increase the text size, it's going to push it over the edge of the line. I don't want to have it do that. But if I want to put a little bit more on the X, we could do that. So instead of 15, so plus 15. Actually, I could just find all the 15s and change it to something else. Because that's all it'll be. It'll always be 15s. The 15s are always going to be this. Actually, Control-Shift-F. Find 15 and replace it with, say, 22. It did not actually change it, which is interesting. So why the hell isn't it working? I mean, there's all kinds of 15s here. There we go, finally. This will do them manually. A pain in the arse. For once I want Sublime Text to just work like it should. Seems to be a little too much to ask. So this should be a little bit better readability wise. There should be a little bit more space. Well, yes and no. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do that. We want to put it on the Y. That is what we want to do. Not on the X. So we're gonna do what we did with the other one. We're gonna create a new variable here real quick. Var y1 equals this. And then we're going to find this. Oh, hell. Nope, that's not going to work, is it? Because, no. So let's have to, yeah. It sucks, but let's have to do it. Like that. Okay. Assuming I didn't undo anything that I did to fix something. I'm sure you get to see a little bit more spacing out of this. Well, kind of, sort of. The first couple throws are fine, and then it goes like, I don't know, something weird happens there. So, MHP, which is the first section here. Oh. Somehow Y got on the outside of that one. It does look, it's a little bit more readable. It is more readable this way. Maybe even a little bit more off of it to make it a little bit more readable. But that looks good for now. We can do that during the refinement. Much better. Not quite as crushed together. So you kind of can see where we're going with this now. So we've got our icon for the weapon, the name, the level, the experience that we have on it, the description, the refinement level, the durability amount. We have all the parameters. Well, we can have all the parameters. Half of these will be removed if we don't have that flag set. We have the parameters at the weapon effects, and then we have the traits that that weapon has as well, and their chances of being applied during attacks. So what's going to happen is that the next phase of this is going to be working on the level up screen. So this is like one of the interesting things, because there's a couple ways to do this, and they're kind of not mutually exclusive, but one way is a lot more work than the other one. And the other one is not as legitimate, air quote legitimate, as the other one. So the thing is, so now how are we going to power up a weapon when we give it a level? And in what ways are we going to do that? So my first thought was maybe, okay, we can create a maybe something in a note tag. So what would have is you would have maybe a max level value that you put in the note tag. So you would have something that would say, so it would be a bracket AWP Advanced Weapon Plugin for the opening section of the note tag. Then you'd have a max level parameter. Under that you would have then, a value. So you'd say, well, it'd be easier to show you, I think, what I'm thinking about. So let's say we have, so AWP to open it, and then to close it would obviously be AWP. And then so we'd have a max level, let's say 10. Now we would have, let's say 0. So this is parameter 0. So in other words, this would be the health. Instead, let's skip that and go down to 2, which would be attack. And then for each level that you can have on a weapon, you put in a value. So we won't increase it on that. We'll increase it by... so this has to be by a percentage. So 0.0, 0.02, 0.05, 0.06. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for each level, this would these values correspond to how much the attack parameter gains per. Well, no, this is going to go to this. Okay, so these would be applied directly to the base parameters. So no, these would be just regular values. I was thinking about the traits, the trait modifications to these, which are percentages. So that's the other thing to take into consideration when you're doing this as well. If you have traits that are modifying it, whatever you put in here is going to be amplified. So we said 1, 2, and we're going to do this a little more sparingly now because we can have a really large impact. So at level 10, we'll add 5 attack. And then say we also want to increase our critical rate. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this would be for critical. So 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that would be that. So next, let's say durability. So dur. So this would be max dur. So we'll say the let's call it default actually. So default dur. Let's say 50, and then we'll say dur inc. So in other words, the increase over level. So first level we'll add 5, 10, 10, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So then that will define our durability increase. So this is one way to do it, and I think this might be the better way to do it. Next, let's say refinement. So we'll set level for refinement. So in order to refine a weapon, you have to get to a certain level. And to do that, we will define a level here. So let's say that at level 15, well actually level 10 is the max level, so maybe we'll set it at 10 in this case. So maybe the max level could be the level for refinement, and we won't have to have that. Well, we'll leave it as a setting anyway, in case you want to say you can continue leveling up your weapon, or you can refine it at this point. And then traits. So if you want to add a trait in a level, so say level trait. I'm just going to say none. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what you would put here is the ID of the trait. So like if I wanted to add the bleeding trait, I would put 13 down here, if it didn't already have it. And then we need to determine for leveling. So the best way I think to do it would actually just to make this be a formula. So like to have it be like a some sort of logarithmic kind of thing. So EXP form would be, let's see, let me go, I have to go, we're going to go dumpster diving in Odyssean Void for a second. I think I have it over there. Where would you be? Economy? Or POC? Or where would I put it? I don't think it's an economy. It's not proof of concept. Crap, let me just open this up and we'll see if I can find it. There's one universe hierarchy, I think. It might be in that. I have to find the damn project first. I have not opened it in a very long time, so it's not in here. Alright, we'll need to go to, that's repos. Open project. Or maybe it is in there. Yeah, I guess this isn't. I thought I called it, oh yeah, here it is, universe hierarchy. Yeah, this is it. So player, I don't have the player in here though. I am using it in an Excel sheet. This is how frigging far I have to go to find this thing. File open. So where would you be? OVX, I think it's in here. So Alt F11. Yeah, here we go. So base times level to the power of factor. And I think I'll need to probably change that around a bit for we'll just throw it in there for now. So base we'll make that 124 and factor will be 0.15 and then the level. So let's just see what that would bring. So get CXP equals so base level factor. So if we said the base was going to be 124, the level, let's say 1, and the factor is 0.15. Cancel. No, it's not doing it the way I wanted to do it. It's not doing a series on it. That's fine. 4, 5. So actually we need to probably increase that a bit. So that's pretty low. 7. Actually, let's do it this way. So we don't have to keep changing that. So, 124. Then the level is 1 and the factor is 0.15. I want it to always be that and always be this, but I want the B to change. Alright, so now let's move this up to 2.5. Or maybe let's do 1 point. So that's a bit more of a ramp, and then let's set this base to 175. That looks a bit better. It's not completely what I would use, but it's better than what was there, so we'll do that for now. 1.25. So, and this could, this actually seems like it might be the way to go, to be honest with you. The only problem I have is when you have like huge, like if this is 50 for example, you're gonna have huge tags. I mean, that's fine, you can handle whatever in importing it, but it's just the typing is gonna be insane. Well, it's gonna be that either way. It just might be, so you might have to use a Excel sheet to create this stuff first of all, and it's not too hard to do, to be honest. To like format something. So like for example, if you want to do the dir inc stuff, well, yeah, you would have to. So let's just like do an example with that here. So dir inc. Then we'd have 5, 10, 10, 12, 16, 11, 8, 20, 18, and 15. Now I need to open up another worksheet, another file. Which one is it? Must be this one. This one's the LXSM. Because I need to grab this. It's a little function that I wrote to concatenate columns by concatenate by ranges and with a delimiter. Save. All right, so equals concat range. So you want to concatenate this through this, and then use a well, that through that, and then and this. Never mind, that was right. And there you go. So that would be an example of how you would do that. Actually, we need to fix that. It would be, the range would be actually starting from F. And at the beginning, we would have this and that. There you go. So I mean, that's how you could do it. It wouldn't be so hard to do that way. Obviously, you'd have to write your own function like that. I might include the code for that in the description or something, or maybe link to it, throw it in Pastebin or something and make a link to it. Once the video processes, the stream processes after we're done. So yeah, I think this is probably how we're going to go with it, because we can easily keep track of everything in here, and load all this in and create some sort of object record that we use, and then so basically it would be like we would load it in, give it the key would be the ID from the database, and then the value would be an object with all this stuff in it. And then we would just parse this out into various things, and then as we are leveling up, we'll check all this stuff against whatever level it is and apply those bonuses. Yeah, so I think we'll leave this way, and we'll just go to apply it and save it. And we're going to go and end the stream for now. I may do some streaming tomorrow. Actually, I will do some streaming tomorrow. And I think what we'll do for that is we will see about how we can go about making weapons gain experience. And we're just going to do them if they're in the party, just the party, game party weapons right now, obviously. But that's going to be the next step, is to get these experience so that we can actually build the level up and actually use it. Build the level up functionality to use it, and then apply in the note tag stuff we just created and see if we can't get that all working. So we are moving ahead much faster than I thought. I thought this would take a lot longer than it has. I mean, still, we are quite a ways from being where we're going to be, but, I mean, if you asked me when we started how long I thought it would take, I would have said maybe 4 or 5 weeks. If you ask me now, I'm going to say maybe by the end of next week this plugin will be done. That's how kind of far along we are already. Obviously, there's a huge gaping Grand Canyon sized chasm shaped hole in the code where we have to deal with actually equipping the items to the actors and then saving those items and loading them back into the actors and actually testing the code, because some of the code's there but not all of it is. But we're kind of there. The main thing that's going to be interesting is the synthesizer. So what would happen there is that so maybe we say that once you synthesize a weapon, you can't upgrade it anymore. I think that's probably what it'll be, because there's just no way to properly handle that kind of a thing, because when you synthesize a weapon, it's going to be a weapon that's not in the database. So it's not going to have a note tag unless we want to try and build a note tag with random whatever's in it to hold all that stuff. Actually, you know what? We don't even need to process that note tag on load, because we are actually loading the note tag into the note field of the weapon. So when we add the weapon to the game instance weapon thing, we could build it from there. That way we're only building out upgrades for weapons that are actually in the party, that have actually been bought by the party. That's actually an interesting idea. Let's see, what's the drawback to that? Let's see, the drawback is, okay, so it couldn't be just the weapon ID, because if you have two of the same weapon, they get confused. You would have to have the actual either the actor that has it equipped and the slot that it's equipped in, and or the game party slot, we'll call it, that it is in that. So once a weapon is sold, we'd have to remove that particular one from that as well. Okay, well, it's doable. It might not be pretty and it might not be easy, but it's going to be doable, I think. Let's put it this way: if we can do all this in a couple days, we can do that in a few, maybe 3 or 4 days. It's going to be an adventure. This is probably easily going to be the most complicated plugin I've done so far. So, I am learning a lot about how different things work, which is good, because then I can apply that to my own game once I get back to working on that. And, well, I don't know if I'll use all these plugins in my game, because I mean, it'd be interesting to have this in there, but at the same time, there's other things that I have that might conflict with it in weird ways. I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to do all the conversion and integration stuff that might have to happen for all the Yanfly crap, for example. So yeah, we'll see. But this is shaping up to be pretty interesting. So, thanks for watching the stream if you did. Watching it afterwards on YouTube, comments or questions, leave them below. Would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow sometime, where we will see about putting in the note tags, getting weapons to actually gain experience from battle, and then building the code for the level up feature functionality.